Hello, I'm Susan Jane, and I am doing a flower reading today for a very special lady. And it was during an event that I went to for Spirit's Gift. Now, Spirit's Gift is a shop, like a new age shop in Coolangatta. It's a gorgeous spot. You have to go and visit there. They do readings there and lots of different things. Well, this particular event we had, or well, I should say they had, they invited me to be a speaker on there. Now, it was called Dining for the Dead. Now, I know it sounds a little bit dramatic, but it was so good. You had a three-course meal, and we got messages from people that had passed. Now, I was hoping to get a message from my sister or my mum. It didn't happen, but that's okay because lots of other people did get messages, and you could see the ones that needed it needed it. My partner who was with me, he was hoping to get a message from his mum. Well, he did, but not through the guest speaker that was there. His message from his mum was, "Oh, I'm not going to line up there. You want to see how many people are lining up to get there?" So it was quite funny, and it just sounded just like his mum. So we understood that there was obviously a queue lining up, and it was, the ones that needed to get these messages did. But when I was doing the flower reading, and usually I do flower readings, that's for goals. It's for your goals in life. But this time we twisted it up a little bit, and it was about getting messages from past loved ones. So I asked all the guests to think of their past loved one and choose a flower image or have a flower image that came to mind that reminded you of them. And then they had to get out their phones and they had to Google their flower. So this is what the results were. And we had all these different flowers come through, and then we did a little bit of a reading on them. So I wasn't giving the messages. They were getting the messages themselves. Intuitively, they were picking the images. Now, this is the image that I have to, hang on, share screen. Let me, I do this every time. I don't know why. I should get used to it by now. So here is the flower image that this particular lady wanted to get an understanding of. Now, she has chosen this intuitively. Again, she has chosen this image. And this is where she wants to, see if I can make it bigger. Will that make it bigger? No, it doesn't make it bigger. She wanted to get an understanding of this flower image. Now, when we look at this, straight away, there's 4 flowers on there. One that's been there for a while and 3 others that are really, really close. Now we see it's a gardenia, it's from a bush, so we know it's coming from the same flower tree, from the same flower area. So when we start to look at this, we go, okay, well, this may not just be one message. This could be a message from a few different people. But in general, I'll go into one flower and get an understanding of what that flower is. And then if you can imagine that this flower is who we're referring to, who this lady was thinking about when she passed, this person may have very close family members. If this was my mum, that could be her sister or 2 sisters, and maybe a brother, something to that effect. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at these sort of family members. We will zoom into one, and I would go into this one because that was sort of the one that attracted me to start with. But I would say that this is about a few family members that may have passed. So this person may not be your family member. This person may be a friend, but they had family members that have passed recently too, or passed with them, and they're all there supporting each other. So that is what we're looking at. Now, they do come from the same flower. And one of the things about the gardenia is the gorgeous scent. Now, I do wonder if this lady, whenever she smells the gardenia, if that reminds her of this person that has passed, because that's the sort of thing that you will get. The other aspect too is like, if you know they're around, you will often get that scent or get that feeling, or you'll see the bush, and that means that person is around. If this image is so strongly associated with the person that has passed, every time you see that, every time you smell that, every time the gardenia word comes up, anything to that effect, you will find that that is that person around you. They're the little signs. They're the little intuitive messages that are coming to you to say that that person is beside you, near you, around you, supporting you, guiding you. And when we look at this, look at all the guides. So, all right, let's step back a little bit. I went a little bit forward there. One of the things I looked at is the motivation for this one. Again, that is whether it's a landscape or whether it's a portrait image. And we see this one is square. Now, not all, this is really strange because like I said before, when I've talked about flower readings, so many of them are more landscape or portrait that you don't often get square ones. A square one just means, and the format is all about your motivation, the person's motivation to life. And when we look at a portrait motivation, it is more positive. So the person will be doing things because of the positive aspect they get from it. It doesn't have to affect anyone else. It's just all about them. It's very, very individual. It's about them and going forward and that positive aspect in life. When it's a landscape, it's about the negatives. Now, the negatives means that somebody may see negatives and it's community minded. So somebody may see negatives in the community and that motivates them to go forward and create more positives or create change. So they're the motivations that we have for it. With this one being square, the motivation is balanced, or there isn't a motivation there that is strongly one way or strongly another way. And that to me is where I see that. I don't see it as being a strong or balanced, or you wouldn't really notice anything like that. And the other aspect when we look at is the path or the journey, which is the stem. Now we know with the gardenias that they have a strong woody stem. Okay, it's not a soft one. It's not a soft stem that can't hold a flower up. It's not a stem like a water lily that needs the support of the water to keep the flower up. It's not a climbing stem that needs the support of structure there. This holds itself up. So it's quite a woody stem that the gardenia has. So when we're looking at the stem, we're looking at their path or their journey that this person had. Now, we can't see the stem in there. We know what it's like. We know it's a strong woody stem. So we know that their path or their journey was strong. It was capable of holding itself up. It was capable of getting there. The person was capable of getting there. But we don't see it in this image. So when we look at that, when we're doing the flower readings, we look at that and we say, well, the person's life, their path, their journey wasn't relevant for you. You didn't need to know all that, or you knew of it and you didn't need to see it in this image. So your intuitive messages are coming through that you don't need to be worried about that. You already know it. And I mean, really, when we look at those three images together, you probably knew them quite well. You probably knew their path and their journey quite well. And you knew that they could handle it, they would cope with it, they would get through it. They didn't need support. They didn't need to be, you didn't need to be following that. You knew it. You just knew it intuitively. Or you just knew them towards the end. But I think you knew them intuitively all the way through, because it does feel close, like a family member. So when we look at that, we get that understanding of the stem, their path. The other aspect is when we look at a stem and a path in there too, we're looking at it's a bush. So these people, this particular person that's passed, they're being protected too in this bush sort of format as well. They're not on their own as a single flower in the middle of a field. They're there as a joint effort. It's like they're protected, they're covered in that sort of area because they've got us all around. They've got all those guides. I mean, leaves are our guides in life. And look at the guides that these people have got. Like, it's just overabundant. It's gorgeous. I love it. Not so many guides in the physical realm in the past. Definitely there was in the physical realm in the future for them. Like as they went forward, they got an understanding and support from those around them. But in the past, they didn't have that support. They didn't have that understanding by those physical aspects around them. They've always had the spiritual guidance up the top, and they've had a lot of mental guidance. They've had a lot of logical thoughts and understanding, and it's still guidance, but it's it's not more of the spiritual guidance is more of the spirit we're getting here. That mental guidance is when you're picking up information from other people, but it's not a direct physical match. Now, hang on, let me express this properly. So when you've got that physical guidance, guidance down low, it's often somebody in your presence, right? So it's a friend, it's a somebody you know, somebody's beside you. You're getting that information. Somebody might be following, and you're getting that information from them. So you're getting that support and that guidance beside you. When it's of the mental nature, and I call it the mental nature because I didn't really know what else to call it, but when it's in that middle area, it's more of getting these understandings from other people. And that's happening because of the internet. We're getting more information coming through now because of the internet. So you may be following somebody on Facebook. You may be, getting guidance from a group. Okay, put it this way. This could be a group of physical people that you're meeting with, say a church. And then the middle part could be more about that information you're getting externally from other people, and it's coming through in that way. So it may be a church leader that you don't physically connect with in the physical side, but you connect with on that internet side. So you're still connecting on that mental realm. You'll read something about it and go, oh yeah, that makes sense to me. I get that. Or you'll read something else about it. You go, yeah, no, that's a load of crap. I'm not interested in that, but I've had a learning from it. So that's that mental side of it. You've got so much there. And in the past, when that person's younger childhood, they didn't have that. So when you see it that way, you turn around and go, well, maybe the internet wasn't around then. That's how I would look at it. Maybe they weren't getting information around. The other aspect from that one, and I'm putting it down to the internet, but it could be like books. You get reading and books. That's how you're getting that information from other people, but you're not actually involved with them. So they're the different areas there. Then, of course, the spiritual side of it. We all know about the spiritual side of it. We're all getting those downloads, that understanding, and that belief that we know that there's somebody there. Often we don't believe that there's somebody there. And I would say this person that's passed definitely had a lot of support around her when she was, and I shouldn't say she because I don't know, but when they were here, it just naturally comes up as a she, when they were here. And it's also around. So the flower's around. So I see it as feminine. I see it as more of a feminine person. They may not have been a female, but they were definitely soft and nurturing of a feminine style. So that's why I keep on saying she. It's a part of the shapes. The other aspect when we're looking at the guides, we're looking at the shape too of the leaves, and the leaves shapes are more elongated, so they're more masculine in that context. There is still, but they're not like big long sharp leaves. They're still rounded leaves. So although they've got a masculine nature to them, the information may be coming to you direct and to the point, but they could have been not, how come the delivery could be more masculine, but the information may be more feminine. So maybe softer. Sorry, I'm just going to wipe my nose. Maybe softer and more gentle. So there, that's the information you're getting. But lots. This person had lots and lots and lots and lots of downloads. Okay, lots of information coming to them all the time. In fact, they could have got a little bit overwhelmed with it. You just don't know. But they had two stronger elements there. And I would say they're, again, sisters or close relatives that have passed. So they sort of went all together. They could have gone all together. But, yeah, they were very close to that area. Now, when we move along a little bit further, we can look at the heart centers. Okay, so when we're looking at the heart center for the flowers, that's the drive, that's the love, the drive. that sort of area. And I tend to call it drive as well as love, because we all have love. And this person that has passed may have had a bit of trouble expressing it or showing it. Okay, we can't see the heart center. I know the gardenia has a heart center. I know it's got that heart center there, but we can't see it. They may have kept it a little bit covered. So we know that they loved, obviously. We know that they had the capacity to love, but they may not have had the capacity to show it as well as what you would have liked, as what others liked. But when you look at the family, they were all the same. They all had a bit of trouble expressing themselves or showing that love, that affection. So that's a pretty strong statement. And we can say that because it's obviously a bush of flowers. It's not an individual flower growing. So it's a bush of flowers. So it's definitely family orientated. And so we are going to see those traits coming through the family. For this particular family, they had trouble showing their heart. They had trouble with doing that. It didn't mean they didn't have it. They just struggled with that. So that's understandable. When we look at the petals, and why I've probably gone into this one is because it's so not perfect's not the word, but perfect is the word, because we are all perfect. This just looks beautiful the way it's done. It's a gorgeous gardenia. This one had the flowers, it's like fully open, going past fully open. This one at the top is starting to brown off, and we know where they curl back in again. This one here is such a beautiful open flower. When we look at those petals of attraction, what attracted you to that person? It's that beautiful cupping, apart from the scent. The scent is something as a reminder, but it's that beautiful shape of that cupping. Now, see how that flower, that cupping look there? Beautiful elongate, beautiful round, nurturing cups there. Look, especially this one's lovely and nurturing. Has a little bit of a spike on the end there. So watch out. There's probably those little areas where you think they're going to be loved, and all of a sudden there was like, it's a wrap. Little bit of a kink to it, a little bit of a spike, a little bit of a hit. So yes, very, very nurturing, but just make sure you do that. So there could be that type of aspect. But that's what attracted you to this beautiful, nurturing, cupping sort of effect. You felt, if you were a little bug and you landed on there, you sort of felt like you're going to be, just looked after. It's just a lovely cupping sort of a feel. So that's what attracted you. But you were aware that there was spikes to it, not prickles, but just little bits of areas there that as far as the attraction goes, you sort of go, oh, it's a little bit awkward. Not bad, not enough to stop you, but just a little bit awkward in some of those ways. But that's okay too. So that's all of that area. When we look at that overarching messages for you, messages that this person is giving you, and I see this image itself is a little bit blurry. So there's still learnings to be done over the other side. So they're still getting an understanding of it. It's not really clear to them yet. They're still getting that understanding, but they've got very, very good support around them. Again, family members around. One just up there sort of going, okay, if you need me, I'm here. There was another one here too, but these two right beside them, so two very close right beside them, they've got the support, they've got the understanding, and they're going to help them through it. So again, this image is slightly blurry, so they don't have a real clear understanding of what their past was all about or what their learning was all about, and it's still coming through to them. So they want you to know that that's what they're getting, that understanding, but they feel quite comfortable. They feel quite supported. They feel very supported, I should say, but they feel, they feel secure in knowing that they don't know it all. They feel secure in knowing that they're learning it. It's evolving around them. They're getting that understanding. They're getting that clarity. And they're happy with that. They're really comfortable with that. They've got the support. They've got the guidance. They've got everything around them. And it's just a matter of getting it clearer in their head. Just getting it clearer. And of course, they don't have a head in that context, but you know what I mean. Getting it clearer in their thought processes and that side of it. So they want you to know that yes, they're okay, they're fine on that side, but they're getting a good understanding of it. What the messages they want to give to you is know that you are guided. Oh my goodness, you have got all this around you. If you have chosen that image for them, that is all around you. You have got lots of guidance, and especially coming into the future, you may feel like you didn't have it, but you have got lots of guidance coming into the future. Your biggest issue as they come forward is that you're getting all this guidance and you don't know what to focus on or what to focus on. It's, for example, when you're getting all this information and you're around people that are getting all this spiritual guidance and spiritual understanding, and this is going to happen, and we believe in this, and rah, you're getting all this, it can leave you a little bit overall overwhelmed, I guess, overwhelmed with this information, and you don't have it clear in your own head what that means to you. So if somebody says to you, I don't know what I'm trying to think, this new improved thing is going to happen, you should take this or you should do this. You can't just work on blind faith. As much as everyone would like that to happen, you need to have more clarity in yourself and your understanding of it. What does that mean to you? If this is going to happen and that's going to happen, what does that mean to you? Not what does that mean to the world, not what does that mean to everyone else. What does that mean to you and your immediate family? What does that mean to you and where you're at and where you're going? And that's where you want the clarity. And that clarity will come within. So don't ask everybody for that information. Just ask yourself. This is where you really need to tune into your intuition and sort of go, this is what I'm feeling, and get a real good understanding of that feeling and go, you can believe that. Good on you. I'm really happy for you. It's not quite sitting right for me. And it's not that I don't believe you. It's just it's not sitting right for me. I don't see the focus in it. I don't see the understanding, the clarity in it. So that's the information they're giving to you. If you don't understand the clarity, if you don't see it clear, if you can't go, yep, I know what you mean, that makes sense, or that feels good, or if you can't do that, you don't have to disbelieve, but you don't have to believe blindly either. You can say, okay, and you pop it aside and say, wait until I get some clarity on that, and then I'll act on it, or then I will do what I want to do with it. So that's the really message. Don't get overwhelmed with everything. We are good. We are getting that understanding, but don't you get overwhelmed with it all. Get the understanding and then go forward with it. So that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed that. This time I won't cut everything off so quickly like I did with the last reading, because it's like, oh my goodness, I've just got to go. If you do want more flower readings, I do flower readings. You can jump onto my website. It's intuitivenature.com.au. I am Australian based, and you can book a reading on there for me. All you need to do is pick your flower image, and we will go from there. A lot of the flower readings I do are about goals. This one, of course, was all about past people that have passed or a past loved one. So slightly different aspect, but wow, I love what the information's coming through is about. If I could talk instead of just doing the video, it would be so much more fun. But anyway, and we'd probably get more information too. That's what I really like. So book in if you want to. We do it live. We do through Zoom, that type of thing, and we can really get down to the nitty gritty to see your intuitive messages. And this is what you're doing. You're seeing your intuitive message, and that's what I love. All right, have a great day, and I will say bye for now. Okay, bye.